Well, welcome to the totally wicked stadium in St Helens. It's Good Friday, and in this part of the world, that means one thing and one thing only.
The people know Wigan and they know St Helens for one thing, and that is they are rugby league towns.
It's the most important day of the year.
Anybody who enjoys sport in the UK will know that on Good Friday, if you turn your TV on at 3 p.m, you will see St Helens versus Wigan.
Just the intensity of these two teams is unmatched with anybody else.
As you say, it's massive, it's huge. It's the biggest game in British Rugby League for me.
They're pretty special, they're pretty special.
Welcome to Noisy Neighbours, Saints versus Wigan edition.
I mean, it is a massive event each and every time that they play, but Good Friday would not be the same Good Friday without Wigan against St Helens on the sporting calendar.
Whether it's Grand National for the horse racing, whether it's Wimbledon in April, May time, you just know Good Friday is associated with St Helens versus Wigan. It is the biggest game in the sport.
The Saints-Wigan derby, whether it's at home or whether it was away, it was always one that just got you excited.
You have to win it. It doesn't. Nothing else matters. Don't matter how successful you are. If you don't win that, it's not the same if you don't win that day.
When you look at St Helens as a town, it's famous for two things: glass and rugby league.
You've got two bona fide, rugby towns, but particularly in the recent times in Super League, you had two genuine powerhouse clubs.
We all see the debate of what is the biggest derby in rugby league. In reality, the biggest derby is the one that your club is involved in. But for outsiders looking at the sport, it is St Helens and Wigan, because invariably St Helens and Wigan compete for trophies. Other clubs just compete for local bragging rights.
They've always been competing with each other. They've never had really a period where there's a big difference in the league table between the two teams. They've always been near the top. They've always been fighting out for trophies.
It's the top two competing for that big prize.
There's been other clubs that have come in and fought for years and gone again. And it feels like we're now at the point again where it's Wigan and St Helens. Maybe Catalan or Hull KR coming in, but it's Wigan and St Helens again. It's always those two, or it always feels like it's those two.
You see a lot of parallels with Wigan, with that as well. They are very, very similar. They might have a football team there, but it is a rugby town. It always has been a rugby town, and for me, it's always going to be a rugby town.
I think it means so much to the players on both sides because there's so many local lads in the respective teams.
I think maybe sometimes when you've got maybe an Aussie coaching and they're trying to say how much the game means, but when it's two, like you say, local lads, you've got Helens who's played in so many of them, local lad knows what it means, you've got Pete who's been at Wigan for so much long as an assistant, working with the academy players and things like that. So I think when you've got them two kind of saying how much it means, they do know what it means, and that an Australian coach who might lose this, they're more bothered about the 2 points, but for these two, it's bragging rights, it's going to hit them personally.
20 years ago this weekend that they had the epic 21-all draw, Farrell and Long with drop goals.
Buzz, they know there's a drop goal in the offing. Farrell, he's gone for it, Farrell!
But the abiding memory of that was the 26-man all-in brawl at the end, where they were trading punches and everyone in the crowd, and everyone went home happy.
They're intuitive back play, they're swinging them right and left, Newsom's taking, it was always going to be on, now they're at it, they're all coming in, they're swinging, the touch judge has been involved in it all, this is unbelievable, Farrell's lost total control, they all have, I knew it was going to explode, because the referee and the officials did not take action when O'Connor and Newton went through. It is no surprise that this had occurred.
You have that narrative in there that you've got Saints fans wanting to beat Wigan and being able to do something about it. Us on the terraces can try and give them all the fuel to get the atmosphere really stoked. They've got to do it out on the field. So when you have got St Helens and Wigan playing each other, and they are so well represented, the towns are so well represented in those teams, It's absolutely fantastic.
You know, you are shown and you are talked to about what being a St Helens player means and the level of expectation that's on your shoulders. One of those is, you know, you get a pretty good taste for it come the Easter weekend.
That you don't even need the fans to make it such an intense game, to make it such an incredible game, but they do add sort of the finishing touch, which is what Wigan and Saints has over the other derbies. I think it's the talent on the field, and then when you add in the fans, then it's a total package.
I was lucky to play in quite a number of them, and each and every one of them are always intense and are always, you know, emotive as well. I always think that in those games, the teams that settle down into the emotion side of the game the quickest are the ones that generally go on and have success in them games, because, you know, the noise is incredible.
We tend to travel in great numbers and quite passionate supporters when we're all in there together, and I think that tends to bring out the best in the players. Ryan Hoffman used to describe it as an energy drink. When he would attack towards the away end with the Wigan supporters in, it was the best energy drink he'd ever had. And I think that's the best way to describe the Wigan supporters, like that wall of just noise.
Their season doesn't hinge on the result on Good Friday, but it makes their supporters happy for the next 6 months.
Now we'll meet up with friends from Wigan beforehand, and we'll meet up with them afterwards. You just want to be on the right side of things. You have to park it after a bit if you want to enjoy the rest of your day, win or lose. But to have that little smug smile on your face as you meet up afterwards, that's the feeling you want.
Good Friday atmosphere is, it's always a little bit extra, a little bit special, and really enjoyable to play in. It's one that sort of you ring at the start of the season of knowing you've got Wigan on Good Friday. Brilliant to play in and great to be a part of. To get the win as well, even more special.